Donald Trump apparently woke up in a bad mood on Friday and decided to get on Truth Social and completely blow up any chance he may have had of actually working out some sort of trade deal with China. Donald Trump trashed the country of China, not the U.S. this time. China accused them of violating this so-called deal they made 2 weeks ago, which wasn't even actually a deal. There were no terms of the deal. And then went on to tell us how horrible China's economy is doing, which of course is not based in reality, because in the first quarter of this year, the U.S. economy shrank while China's economy actually outgrew expectations. But here is what Donald Trump said on Friday morning that again likely destroyed any chance of getting a trade deal worked out. He said, quote, "2 weeks ago, China was in grave economic danger. The very high tariffs I set made it virtually impossible for China to trade into the United States marketplace, which is by far #1 in the world. Again, I got to stop there and remind everyone, China's economy grew at a rate higher than expectations, over 5%. In the first quarter of this year, they were not hurting. They were doing quite literally better than they could have anticipated. The United States, on the other hand, our economy shrank, so Trump's right out of the gate with blatant lies that China was like dying. They were thriving. We're the ones, our country's economy, that was dying." But Trump continued, "We went in effect cold turkey with China, and it was devastating for them. Many factories closed, and there was, to put it mildly, civil unrest. Again, none of that happened. None of it happened. This mentally ill president is making stuff up and selling it to a MAGA crowd that unfortunately is going to believe every word he says, but none of that happened. It is complete fantasy in that man's dementia-riddled brain. I saw what was happening and didn't like it for them. Not for us? Oh, so out of the goodness of your heart, you're like, 'Listen, China, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad for you. I am capable of empathy, totally.' No, you're not. You're a sociopath. I made a fast deal with China in order to save them from what I thought was going to be a very bad situation, and I didn't want to see that happen now. Again, I have to stop here. I can't even finish this because I have to fact-check you. You didn't make a deal. There were no deals. There was nothing signed. There was nothing in writing. China admitted we didn't have to make any concessions. If there are no concessions, then there are in fact no deals. So again, complete fantasy in this man's head. What he's selling to us is not real. There was no deal, just the agreement that we would begin talking, and Trump continued, because of this deal, everything quickly stabilized, and China got back to business. As usual, everybody was happy. That is the good news. The bad news is that China, perhaps not surprisingly, to some has totally violated its agreement with us. So much for being Mr. Nice Guy. There was no agreement. The only agreement is, we'll have talks. You have had talks with them. And since that was literally the only term, they can't have violated that. So again, every single thing this man has said is a lie, like there's not even one sentence that has an ounce of truth to it. All of this is fiction, and it's a symptom, of course, of Donald Trump's mental illness. This man is completely detached from reality and probably should have round-the-clock psychological care. China didn't violate anything here because there was nothing to violate, and now that you've gone and done this, they're definitely not going to sit down at the table with you. I wouldn't sit down at the table with you. I know you're trying to bully them into doing it, but they hold all the cards, bud. They've got the power. We're dependent upon them, not vice versa, so they've got it. The only thing I can say is that this week, Scott Bent, Treasury Secretary, did admit that the talks with China have, quote, stalled. So maybe that's what's pissing Donald Trump off. I don't know. I'm not even going to pretend to be in that ridiculous brain of his. But either way, Trump's pissed, which usually means new tariffs are probably right around the corner. But don't worry, Trump always chickens out. Thanks for watching today. Everybody, and don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this 1705, now playing Lawrence, Irreversibly Stupid, Trump's Biggest Tariff.